Recession. It's a scary word. When people hear it, they imagine the stock market crashing, companies shutting down, and people tightening their belts to stave off inflationary pressure, savings wiped out, and joblessness. However, certain sectors have safeguards in place that enable them to weather economic storms and even flourish. These are well worth your time whether you're looking for a secure field to work in or a promising business to put your money into. In today's video, we'll cover the top industries to invest in during a recessionary environment. Before we begin, please like this video and hit the subscribe button with notifications turned on so you will be the first to know about new content. Our mission at the Personal Finance and Investing channel is to empower people to achieve financial independence. Subscribing will help us achieve that goal. Now, let's get back to today's video. These are the top industries to invest in during a recession. Let's begin our countdown with number 11, the healthcare industry. The healthcare sector is remarkably resilient to economic downturns. With the U.S.'s aging population and the high cost of healthcare in general, this industry is often immune to recessions and may actually experience increased sales and profits. Most people who need prescription medications or medical treatment can't afford to be choosy about where their money goes. Thus, the healthcare industry and pharmaceuticals can be counted on to enjoy strong, continued revenue. Number 10, consumer staples. Consumer staples, as opposed to fashion, entertainment, and other forms of extravagance, are purchases that every person must make on a regular basis. Economists believe that there are things that people are either reluctant or unable to remove from their budgets, even in times of financial crisis, such as food, diapers, personal hygiene products. No one is going to forego toothpaste or shampoo in order to save a few bucks. Number 9, discount retailers. Even if they don't often purchase at them, consumers who are strapped for cash often hit up their discount retailers. Think your neighborhood dollar store during times of economic hardship, since they provide the most value for their money. Naturally, when people need to be cutting back on spending, discount shops tend to thrive. Retailers like Walmart are an ideal choice because of their capacity to provide cheap prices on most consumer basic items. Number 8, utilities. Utilities are companies that provide gas and electricity. These expenses must be included in budgets, even in tough times, much like consumer staples. However, it isn't the only reason the industry usually does well in bad times. Utilities are safe bets because of their widespread use and consistent income. Although their expansion is slower than that of other market segments, they are reliable sources of income producers in every economy. Moreover, they provide relatively substantial payouts to investors in both good and poor economic times. Number 7, sin businesses. Contrary to what one might assume, so-called sin industries perform well during economic downturns. You might think that if people were willing to stop buying fresh vegetables, they'd also quit buying beer. But human psychology has its own internal logic, and it's often short-sighted and emotionally driven. Because many people in dire straits are battling loneliness, depression, and anxiety, they'll often turn to alcohol, cigarettes, and gambling, rather than a new gym membership to manage their low mood. Furthermore, regulations have eased, making businesses engaged in gambling or cannabis to have more room to operate. Number 6, fast food restaurants. Despite a growing awareness of the need to eat well, Americans' concern extends no farther than their wallets. Quick service restaurants provide low-priced, high-calorie meals that are often satisfying and easy on the wallet. Economic studies have found that fast food chains do well during economic uncertainty because hard-up folks eat more burgers, nuggets, and fries than they would otherwise, even when, ironically, the high cost is usually higher than making a fresh meal at home. Furthermore, during economic difficulty, consumers will choose to eat at fast food joints rather than fine dining establishments, so fast food chains tend to benefit from this downgrading behavior. Number 5, home improvement and DIY. As the old saying goes in the construction industry, renovators get to work as builders lay off. New home sales are higher when economies are doing well, which is good news for the construction industry. However, during economic downturns, homeowners are more likely to invest in repairs and upgrades to the homes they currently own or rent, which can still be a boon for segments of the construction industry and, of course, home improvement retailers like Home Depot and Lowe's. Instead of hiring that expensive contractors, consumers tend to do it themselves and DIY stores thrive. Number 4, employment agencies. Staffing consultancy Advance Partners found that temp agencies are good predictors of economic downturns, since temporary employees are among the first to lose their jobs in a recession. Because many businesses test the waters of rehiring and growth by using temporary employees, the rise of temp agencies tends to be a great frontrunner for the conclusion of a recession. So, although staffing agencies aren't immune to economic downturns, they often feel the effects later and experience the upswing before other industries. Number 3, collection agencies. It's a sad reality of recessions, but many people will go into default on things like credit card debt or mortgages as income and savings dry up and monthly bills continue to pile higher and higher. Eventually, these borrowers throw up their hands and walk away from their debt. When this occurs, the lender often turns to a collection agency in an effort to recoup some of their losses, or they may decide to write off the account entirely and pass it on to debt collectors. Number 2, essential industries. Although they don't always thrive in recessions, so-called static sectors tend to keep on trucking regardless of the economic climate. Logistics and trucking companies shift from shipping high-priced durable goods to more food and consumables. Because everyone will become sick at some point, no matter what the market does, healthcare is one such static sector. Another is financial services, such as H&R Block, which help individuals and businesses file their taxes on time. The IRS will always find a way to get its hands on what they consider theirs. And then, of course, death itself is unaffected by the state of the economy. Therefore, as morbid as it sounds, the grave digging and funeral businesses remain steady year after year. And number 1, prisons. Famous investor Michael Burry, who the movie The Big Short is based on, did find one undervalued company worth holding through a looming market crash, GEO Group, a private prison operator. The present mood about private jail stocks can accurately be described as misunderstood. In recent years, they've been hammered in the stock market. This is mostly because, according to an executive order issued by President Joe Biden in 2021, the United States Federal Bureau of Prisons is phasing out its reliance on private prison operators. But that's not the end of it. The market has been worried about firms like GEO defaulting on its debt since 2019, when major banks ceased funding private jail organizations. But where most investors have been spooked off, the clairvoyant Burry believes private prisons owned by companies like GEO will be necessary in the coming years. And the stigma around the industry will be lifted. One only has to look at the rising murder rates across U.S. cities to get a sense of where things are going. Well, there you have it. 11 rock-solid industries that are poised to do better than most during a deepening recession. Let us know what you think in the comments section below. Also, let us know if you have specific topics or questions that you want us to address in future videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can help people achieve our mission of empowering people to achieve financial independence. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you